Hey everyone, welcome to Sacred Brand Strategy, where all of your brand strategies are sacred. Today we're talking about the energy of the new moon in Purva Ashada, in the nakshatra Purva Ashada, in the zodiac sign Sagittarius. This is according to Vedic astrology. It's going to be on December 30th, 4:26 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're just going to jump right into what it's going to mean for each rising sign, Aries through Virgo. All right. So I have my new deck of cards here. So excited. So just so I can pinpoint more specific areas for you to work in your brand. So I use Vedic astrology. I use traditional brand strategies, and I also use tarot and oracle cards to help you get a really deep and clear understanding of how you can kind of move and flow with the energy of the moon and the lunar cycles to manifest your brand strategy goals. And also to have, I use all these tools to help you have a clear and authentic message that you can share with your audience with confidence, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and use these new cards that I made today. I'm so excited. Okay, promise. This is your brand promise. This is what you need to focus on, Gemini Rising. And your brand promise is about, like, what's the one thing that that your audience can expect from you, no matter what. It's something you can promise, something you can guarantee that your audience is going to experience every time they work with you or see you or any of that, okay, or interact with your brand in any way. It's one thing you're going to promise them that's going to happen, okay? So let's do some more clarifying. Please clarify brand promise. Please clarify brand promise for Gemini Rising. Let's see where your first lord is. Okay, you got Mercury in your 6th house. So that's your daily work routine. And the new moon is going to be, in your 7th house. So we're strengthening your relationships, and you're strengthening your relationships. Okay, we're almost there. So you have, this is Uriel and the Sphinx. And this is the world, but it's reversed. So also this is a major thing that you need to do for your brand is it's going to focus in on what you can promise your audience when they work with you or when they interact with you in any way. See you online, see you in person, see you walking down the street. It's not putting this brand promise in place is going to if you are on the edge of getting to the level where you feel like you're supposed to go, this is going to help you get to the next level in your brand. Okay, we're going to clarify again. Please clarify brand promise and the world reverse for Gemini Rising. It's a lot of reflection that needs to happen. because this is serious, okay? You don't want to promise or guarantee something and it doesn't pan out, something that you can't do. So this is going to take some thought on your end. And what can help you is focusing back on your brand foundation, right? Focus back on your brand purpose, your brand vision, your brand mission, and your brand values. And that'll give you some clarity on what your brand promise is, okay? Because the closer you can get to who you just are as a person or how you just conduct business anyway, that's going to, you know, just in general, that's going to help you make your promise even more. You want to be as consistent as possible with your brand promise. You're not making anything up. You're not saying anything that's cute or something you've heard other people say, because that's going to make you not stay true to what your promise is. It's going to have to come naturally and easily and consistently. Okay, Diana, focus, intention. Think about what you desire, set your sights high, expect the best possible outcomes. Okay, and this for me, Diana represents Mars, and you have Mars in your second house. So could it be something, you might want to focus on values. Focus on your brand values. That's what we're focused on. That's how you're going to get a deeper understanding of the promise that you can give to your audience. So now I told you about brand promise. So brand values are what's important to you. Okay, what's important to you in the way that you conduct your brand? What's important to you in what people say about your brand when you're not around? What's important to you in what stays the same? And it kind of relates back to brand promise. What stays the same no matter how big you grow your business? How is it going to stay consistent? Because you know there's going to be changes and all that. Every time you grow, you're going to have to change and adjust your business. But what's going to stay the same? What do you want your customers to say about you when you're not there? What's important to you? What do you value? That is extremely important. Another reason, and this is what you're going to have to focus on in your daily work routine. So you have K2 and Lilith in Virgo in your fourth house, and your first lord your first lord Mercury rules your fourth house because Virgo is there, and you also have K2 and Lilith there. So you want to make Lilith, wherever Lilith is, you're going to have to do a lot of accepting. So when you're working on your brand promise, you're really accepting who you are as a person. You're accepting who you are as an entrepreneur, and cutting out what we say you will cut out with K2 there. With K2 there, cut out any, just it's doubling up. Cut out any type of noise. Stay away from jargons, because we're focusing on just who you are without all the mess, without marketing words, jargony words, sales type of words you've heard other people say. Your brand promise has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with your values, who you are behind the scenes, and what you know you can offer your audience. Okay, so I feel like I said enough of that. So let's go to your third house. In your third house, you have Leo, right? So Leo, with Leo, what you're doing is you are putting a lot of effort into expressing what your brand promise is. Okay, you're communicating your promise more. You're putting it, you're talking about it in your social media content. You're talking about it in your newsletters, all type of marketing. You're just get used to saying, put a lot of effort into creating your brand promise. Then you put a lot of effort into communicating it in wherever you can, however you can. Okay. Then in your daily work routine, things that you want to make sure you're doing daily to make sure you're pushing your brand goals forward is let's see, with Mercury there, this is, you're letting go, because Mercury is in Jeshta. So you're letting go of any fears you have you feel like you're not at the point where you can make a brand promise, or you fear what will happen if you make a brand promise. What could be the fallout from that? What if you can't fulfill your brand promise? All these fears that you might have, you're going to have to let them go in your daily work routine, so you can get to your seat of power, if that makes any sense. So I feel like there's a lot of transforming your mindset that you need to focus on in your daily work routine to make sure this brand promise is as strong and real and authentic as possible. Okay? The new moon is going to be in your 7th house. So again, there's that connection with your audience, and that you have to, this is important too. When you're working on your brand promise, it has to be something that your audience can relate to. So you have to look at your audience persona, look at your target, your core audience, and what type of promise would they need from you to work with you, to watch your videos, to, do whatever call to action you want them to have, especially for your brand right now. What kind of promise does your audience want from you? Look at their pain points, look at their challenges, look at their goals and their dreams. Look at who they are. What kind of promise do they want from you? Okay. And in your 10th house, you have Neptune, you have Rahu, and you have Chiron in Pisces. So in your work environment, you might be really focused on that right now. You might be really focused on your work environment because of Rahu's obsessive. But also you need some more clarity because it's so much lack of clarity with these planets and this sign. Neptune is the deepest part of the ocean where we can't perceive things or see things with our natural eye. We have to use our third eye. And if we don't have that, then it's really important for us to dig into our spirituality. The same with Rahu. With Rahu, you might be focused on your work environment, but are you focused on doing things the right way? Are you focused on just go, or do you have some type of clarity, some type of direction? Okay. And Chiron is there also. I don't feel like it's affecting you too much right now, Gemini rising, but just be aware that wounds, trauma and wounds could be affecting you in your work environment right now. So that's another reason why, especially right now, working on your mindset, transforming your mindset in your daily work routine, like I was talking about with your 6th house, and in your work environment is extremely important. So moving on to your 11th house, where that's where you have Aries. It's important that you are your 11th house is how you gain authority, and it's also your earnings. So it doesn't matter what you don't want. Again, this focus. This is ruled by, this is Diana, which I said, which is associated with Mars, and Mars rules Aries in your 11th house. So stay focused and stay hardworking, even if you're not clear. You want to keep going because you're working on your mindset. So things might not be clear in the beginning of the month when it comes to your brand promise and what you can promise your audience. But towards the end, if you're focused and just doing it anyway, then you're going to gain the clarity that you need. But take the right steps and do things in order, okay? Focus on your foundation, focus on your audience, then create your brand promise, then you communicate your brand promise. And sometimes the clarity comes in the communication and the implementation, okay? So don't get stuck in the setting it up phase, because the implementation phase is where you really start to get the education on what's going on, okay? So you can change. Your brand promise is something you can change, but don't be afraid just to do the work and get it out there, okay? All right, and that's what I have for you. Gemini